Hello, hello, hello. On in, everybody. The water is fine. Just going to wait a few more minutes for folks to make their way in. Then we're going to have a wonderful and fun stream. Welcome. Hope you are having a wonderful start very soon. It's almost 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern time. Not the most convenient time, but the only time that I can get work. Hello there, Kitkatsuji. Happy December. And welcome to the stream. Right, let's start at what we have to play this game. Let's do a recap of where our plot was. That would be somewhat. Coffee versus tea. But what if you're both? Well, we're going to find out what if you're both very soon. Going through this just to do a recap of where the story is so far. This is the original map of the game at the start. Green is tea, red is coffee. At the very beginning, we ended up taking a little bit of coffee territory because of the outset of what was believed to be a surprise attack in the war, and we set up Fort Steep, which is the fort that we are in currently. The Tea Realm started pushing a little bit forward into the Barista Canyon in order to put pressure on Coffee Empire. Coffee Empire responded by annexing all of Genmaicha's land. Rather than reclaim it, the Tea Realms decided to continue pushing into the Expanse and really force the fight to them, sort of like a base trade if for anybody who's played RTS games. The Coffee Empire, specifically Mate, who is a tea princess on behalf of the Coffee Empire, responded by taking over the lands of Brabus and Chamomile. The Tea Realms responded by taking those back, then a little bit more, mostly from Black Rose. And a lot of politicking has happened since then. We now know the identities of all the coffee regents in the game, as well as their rough locations. Here is the map showing everybody, at least at the start of things. We still do not know the identity of Coffee Empire. We have captured Mate. She is in jail. a lot of things have happened. The situation is deteriorating rapidly. Let us see what happens next. So, as is usual, we need to go through the required conversations noted with asterisks here. So let us have Silver Needle and Black Rose speak with one another. Black Rose captured Mate. Mate escaped in the previous level from being killed by Cafe au Lait. And we're not doing much of a plot focus here. This stream's more about gameplay, but if you have any questions, just let me know. I will be very quickly going through this. Let us have Matcha now talk to Mate, who is in prison. Around over there. Technically move Mate in the cell as well if you really want to. Shall communicate. There's a little bit of a heartfelt moment here, just to summarize, where Genmaicha feels like she's been excluded from the Tea Realms by the other Tea Princesses. Mate, of course, is in the same position, except Mate was born in the Coffee Empire, so a little bit of a different scenario. Mate is still loyal to the Coffee Empire. And here Mate learns that the White Tea Realms have a plan to go after and capture Yuenyeung, who is a coffee region. But the biggest reveal here is that the annexation of Genmaicha's land is partially Mate's fault. While we are here, let us have Bai Muden and Dragonwell speak with each other. We are going to be meeting Yuenyeung soon. And the rest of the dialogues are optional, but you should check out this mailbox one just to see what's going on there. There's a letter from Masala Chai, and she is saying that she will be visiting Fort Steep, so we can expect that in the near term. But let us go back to our next level. Level 11, the Inner Barista Canyon. Capture all resource tiles and defeat all enemies. We are back with the White Tea Princesses. This is the 5th White Tea level. And here's our resource loadout, which is a little atypical from the previous White Tea levels. The previous ones all had raspberry in them. See, this one does not. Our default loadout features the regenerative chai, sacrificial tea, the ballet tea, the chocolate, the night tea knight, the petite sharpshooter, and glycogen as our tier 3 unit. Let's get going. Let's see what this level is like. So the gimmick of this level, as you can see here, Bai Muden and Silver Needle are with one another. Shomei, the healer of the party, is kind of on the other side of the map, and that is going to pose a bit of a problem. So, as always, turn 1, before you do anything, you want to survey the battlefield. You want to get a good look at it. You want to plan out what it is you want to do. There are a lot of unclaimed resource tiles basically everywhere. We want those for our economy. We want to get those immediate boons. As you can see, we don't have sugar, we don't have chocolate, and we're not getting a per turn increase in our blueberry or our vanilla. These two forks do meet up right at the very end here in this back line. We want to try to get our forces up these streams as best as we can so that they can meet up with one another and continue pushing forward. What about units that we have, that the enemies have? We've seen the over-roasted Brute. We've seen the hyperactive Roast. We've seen the Maka Vanguard. We've seen the resistive bulwark, albeit just once. We've technically seen the imposing beauty, but we have not seen the relentless stoic to my knowledge. The relentless stoic has an ability called pursuit, so it activates after the end of combat. Reset all the actions on the unit to their initial state. So the way that would play out is that they can attack you, and they reset their actions. Then they can attack you again, and they reset their actions. And they can keep fighting you, basically, until either they die or die. Hence, being relentless. So, what do we want to do here? We know the brute damages itself, and we have a couple of units here. On this side, we have a lot of options to go in and start, like, actually attacking, as well as claiming tiles and starting to build our economy up. So let us start by doing that to get it some damage on itself. Excellent. So we are going to claim... We're going to claim that tile later. We're going to hit this again. Excellent. So now, no matter what, it's out of here. We claim that tile. We start moving forward. Let's look at this side. Now, the unfortunate thing is, can't quite get this tile, but what we can do, this unit up, move Shomei up. Okay. So, what do we have now? We have a bunch of tiles we can complain, or we could complain that we can capture, and we have enemies we want to get out of the way. They're blocking our path. This will give us vanilla, this will give us blueberry sugar. We need sugar. This will give us 3 sugar. If we get that, we could get chocolate, then we'll have 1 of everything. So let us look at what it is we wish to... How about we create... And I like to make these sort of scout units initially, because they don't cost much, but we're going to get that tile. Another one. I would like to use this brew to make ourselves a sacrificial tea, just to get some extra damage in. So now, it has 6 HP. It will hurt itself, so I just need to do any amount of damage. So we're going to actually make the very rare not scout unit with Shomei. We only need to do 1 damage, so regenerative chai is a good idea, because the comboing from healing will give us a lot of regen. Not that it really matters on these units, but we can clear the path. Unfortunately, that's kind of all we can do here. We've exhausted that. Next turn, we'll start moving in, but let's look at this other side. Anything that clears through here will clear through here. And we have this hyperactive roast, and we want to do damage to it. Silver Needle, her ability will give us units with less HP, but more damage dealing capacity. Unfortunately, this unit will shred through that if it has less HP, so we don't quite want to do that yet. Instead, let us make ourselves a scout. Quickly claim that. And I would like Baimuden to be the one to make a unit to go through here. And let's just have this unit for now. Great. We need to make a tough decision if we want to claim this tile using her, or have her make a unit to attack the Maka Vanguard. Let's see, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Actually, don't have to make that tough decision at all. It has blocks, so we do want to do some damage to it to break through that. Let us make ourselves... I like making sacrificial teas here. Now the question is, do I want to attack and then maybe move? Can we do that? Will a unit live getting hit by 3 attack? It's unclear. Let's look. I don't have any units that can do that. So it is better to go for the resource. We don't want the hyperactive roast to get that resource tile. And from here we can get rid of the block by having our sacrificial tea attack first. It will explode, so now we only need to do 2 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need a movement of 5. This gives us a movement of 6 and 4 attack. We will clear that enemy out of here. And that's all we could do that turn. But not a bad turn. We got a lot of resources, and our economy is growing. Let's see what the enemy does. And remember, the enemy can brew. Okay. He lost the chocolate tile, but importantly, we got the boon from it, so we still have chocolate access. Now, this little guy is still alive, so how about we go in and deal some damage? 6, and now Silver Needle's unit can go in and deal enough damage to finish this off. That's excellent. And we can make a scout to move forward here, to claim that back. Now we have a bunch of tiles we can claim, and we should. There's maybe a particular order in which I want to brew from them. So let us start by getting this. Then I want to actually get this chocolate, and next, I want to land a unit on this sugar. And getting that sugar will let us make a ballet team. Let's make a petite sharpshooter. Get that sugar, because now we can attack from a distance, and when we do that, we give them impede, which makes it so the enemy, if they move, will take damage. That is pretty good on units with a lot of HP. Excellent. Now we want to deal with this sort of disaster going on here, but before we get too carried away, we have some things we can do down here as well. So let us... I'm going to get this blueberry from afar. Get that here. Make ourselves a scout to get that. Okay, excellent. Let's make a unit that is going to basically be our sacrifice. So a sacrificial tea, essentially. And if we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, we can... Using our sugar, we can make a ballet tea. So we only need to do 1 damage if you think about it. 1, 2, 3, 4 is enough. Get that in. That'll kill the unit. 5. Getting that tile is important because now we can get these 2 chocolate tiles. And I would... Oh, we get even more options. We get petite sharpshooters. We get Nighty Knights, which have ranged attack as well. So let's make ourselves a Nighty Knight. Let's Nighty Knight attack this unit from afar. Because now it only needs to be hit by 1 damage to go down. And we have options to deal with that. Great. And before we get too carried away, we only have 4 tea leaves. So we want to start making units with our tea princesses. Have you pop a squat there. We can basically just make anything that can attack it. So the problem we face is that any unit we make here will die unless the chocolate, which gets armor 2. I think the chocolate might survive. Let's try that. Yes. It'll take damage, but it survives. We can move our scout, reclaim that tile. Let's prepare by make a Tea of War here. This should be fine. Want to start moving things up. You want to start making more units. I will start decommissioning some of these backline units because they're not going to be that useful to us. They'll just get in the way. Make another regenerative chai. Have the regenerative chais start healing each other. And let's see. You can still move, but you shouldn't. Now let's have the regenerative chais heal one another. You can move forward, but you won't be that useful if we do, so let's decommission that unit. Here come more units. There you could see the impede worked. It took damage. And our economy is looking pretty good. The enemy economy is still looking good as well. But we have enough that we can start fighting back, and that's the important. Alright, let's see what we got. Have a Nighty Knight. Now the Nighty Knight, if it deals damage, will deal damage to adjacent units as well, which is important. So if I can get in the range of this Macha Vanguard, it will deal damage here, but if I attack this Hyperactive Roast, I'm damaging multiple units, which is what I want to do. And as you could see, that did some really cool things. This is an annoying unit, but we need to pop its shield off. So one way to do it is in, give us some healing, and then we're going to sacrifice this unit just to get rid of that. As 5 HP, we move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will kill the unit. Excellent. Our scout can take that tile, and now we can start making more units that can do more cool things, like another 90 Knight. Take that tile to hit that unit, to spread more damage, which is opening up the path. Now we only need to do 3 damage here. We can actually just straight up make a glycogen. Before I get carried away, it's so easy to get carried away in this level because you could do so many things, which is really, really cool. Let's start moving some things up. Get rid of this unit. We could get rid of this unit. We could not get rid of Shomei, just move her up. Let's take a look at this fight. We don't want to really lose these tiles. This is a really fun level. I remember during playtesting, I think like the very first iteration of this level is the final level. Our game designer just made the perfect fun level here. There was not much that needed to be changed other than like some numbers tweaking of some units. The layout was very, how should I say it? The layout made it so there was a lot of fun to be had. I would love to make a glycogen with any of these units. These scouts are causing an issue by getting in our way, so let's just get rid of them. We don't need this scout. Now, if I make a glycogen... Hey, Seabass! Oh my goodness, it's so good to see you! Currently, coffee is the enemy, and I know your opinions about coffee, but I implore you to wait one more level. I implore you to wait for the level after this level. Some things are about to change. It's going to be very interesting. In fact, making this game made me appreciate coffee more, because while I was making this game, I would make the different teas, I would make the different coffees, and I would learn so much about how to make it right, how to make it taste good. And now, I've actually made coffee that I've enjoyed for the first time in my life, which is incredible. And I'm just going to give a word of advice to people. The secret is the French press. If you go to a coffee shop and you're not enjoying the brew that's being made, it might be because you don't enjoy the types of taste that a percolation style brewing would make. Try an immersion style brewing. See if you like that better. I find that immersion brews using a French press aren't as bitter. And I find that a lot of the coffee that I make with it is good enough that I don't need to add sugar. I don't need to add milk. I don't need to add anything. And as long as you're using good, clean, soft water, you're getting a premium blend, you're crushing the beans right before making the blend, the beans are fresh, all of that, you're going to notice a difference. If you're someone using something like, I don't want to name any companies, but certain cups that sort of give you just these instant coffees, you could get really good instant coffee. You might be getting the wrong idea for coffee. Coffee can be very good if done right, as can tea. And they can be done very poorly in all cases. But anyway, Seabass, welcome. I am so happy to see you. This is Sovereignty. And our goal is to take our tea princesses, to make units, to capture tiles, to make even more units, to capture more tiles, and make more units, and fight off the enemy. A little bit of blends and inspiration from games like StarCraft, but it's not an RTS. But it's sort of in that style. So we have a cluster of enemies here, and we have to make a decision on what type of unit we want. Advanced Wars is the perfect analogy. Yes, that's exactly it. That was one of the big inspirations here. People think Fire Emblem, but it's closer to Advanced Wars in that regard. So what I want to do is I want to get a ranged unit like these 90 Knights that can hit this cluster and deal damage in a circle. And I don't think I have enough movement. Well, I don't even have enough resources to do that. I can make a petite sharpshooter. Glycogen's great, but the taunt is not going to be great. But it is going to be able to soak up a ton of damage. So this might be one of those scenarios where I actually want to make the tier 3 unit with not from a T-Princess. I want to hold the fort here, and I want to get that taunt in, and I want to start clearing the path for these enemies to start going at it like crazy. Which means I would like to get some innate levels of healing. We're going to use the regenerative chai. We're going to heal to get that regen up, so it should be able to last a bit longer. Plus, we took a little bit of damage from that last encounter, but now we're maxed out. All right. Want to just sort of throw units at this problem here. Now, this Tea of War will die if I do that, because this unit will attack first. But throw a sacrificial tea at it. Am I able to throw more things at it? That's the question. Now, if the Tea of War is going to die, and it will, I can attack the Imposing Beauty here, just to get that initial huge damage, because that was made with Silver Needle. That's pretty nice. This is almost dead. Am I able to break through? I would need a lot of movement, and I simply don't believe I have that movement. What is the range of... Well, I can't even make the Petite Sharpshooter. I don't believe I have enough movement here, which is very unfortunate, but I can start moving things forward, blocking the path, getting things ready to move forward, continuing to make new units to continue moving forward. Ooh, but I have only one tea leaf this turn, so I have to make a decision. That decision will be tough. I believe in that instance, I would like to make some magic happen here. Oh, I can only use regenerative chais. Oh boy. Well, a regenerative chai is not a bad idea here. Because these guys could use some healing, right? Get some healing in. I can do one more damage. Might as well start spreading the damage. That scout should hold the fort. This scout can be a distraction. I don't want to distract from this guy, and these units are going to be attracted here, so I'm just going to leave that scout there. Now we could do some healing here. This scout can be a distraction in maybe a good way, but I do want... These have high attack, so I think the distraction is to block this path. And that's all I can do for this turn. Let's see what happens. Right, the enemies are being attracted towards the glycogen there. And we are going to try to soak up some damage, start really putting the hurt on. Some of these enemies actually backed away because some of these ones had a little path to get to that glycogen. This is very good for us, actually. Oh, there's a huge cluster of enemies here. We can do so much damage. And we will do so much damage. Hit the center, spread that damage out. Now we have an attack range of 3. Getting the tile is important, but we have a scout for that. Ooh, 3. We could kill that. We could kill this one right here. Let's do that. Goodbye. Spread that damage. Oh, you damage yourself, by the way, just as a reminder. I keep forgetting that rule all the time. Okay, this unit will get armor when I move in. That should allow me to hit this. Kill it, which is great because now I can take that tile. Excellent. Bai Mudan deal bonus damage to high HP units. This is a high HP unit. I do... Oh my god, it's all coming together. Yes! Love to see it get extra healing in. We could be aggressive with this. We can move this in. We can start attacking. And if we have 4 attack, we could get rid of this hyperactive roast right here. Yes. Heal the power. Bring the tea princesses in. I want to bring that there just to keep the path open. Okay. We have 6 movement. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Not much we can do with that, so let's just pop a squat on this tile. I don't know what to do with that scout. Let's move Shomei up. Let's move... We'll move this unit later. Okay. I do want to protect this tile. I want to deal... I could make another glycogen. We can make a glycogen with a lot of movement. Have a lot of resources here. Doing that will prevent us from making a Nighty Night, so it might actually be better to make 2 different Nighty Nights just to get extra ranged attacks in. Like that, because now we have a ranged attack with a huge amount of output. Make another Nighty Night. I think that was the right call. We're out of blueberry and chocolate, but that's fine. We can really start putting pressure in. We're hurting our own units here. Can we make anything ranged here? Not yet, but nothing can be made from that tile. Looking at this side now. I would love to just sacrifice a unit here. Tea of War just to pop you off. Make another Ballet Tea. We're going to increase our attack. We just need 3. 4. This is actually perfect. 5, 6. This is ours now. And I think the next priority is I need to start taking these backline tiles and claiming the resources for myself. What are the resources we are most limited by? Well, getting more. This output's great. I think it makes sense to get the ones closest to us because these are the ones that are going to hurt us the most. I can't make anything more, but got some good economy here. What do we want to do with the scout? Perhaps serve as a distraction. Now we move that up. Can't make anything with this. Do we want a distraction? Yeah, let's just move it there. Keep the tiles secure. Now the enemy is going to run into our traps, and it's fun to watch. That unit is dead. Things are moving away because they want to get to this glycogen that has the taunt. I think this level is one of the ones that really show the gameplay the best. Oh man, the enemy is making healers now. That's new. Alright, excellent. So this unit, if it moves, will take some damage, but we can get the blitz off before then. And we're going to claim that tile and immediately die, which is actually what we want. Ooh. So the problem we have with the resistive bulwark is you can only damage them with small damage amounts, which is unfortunate because we do big damage amounts here. But the Nighty Night can hit adjacent units like this one, and it will do 2 damage to adjacent. So if I hit this for 3, deal 2 damage to adjacent units, that will hit both of them. That's great. And we do 4 damage here, which is unfortunate, so we're not useful. Let's look over here. My god, there's so many of these. Hey, this somehow you're still alive. Get that blueberry for me. Let's just secure the back line. Now that we have basically every resource tile, is moving up. Mudan should be moving up. Needle should be moving up. This sacrificial tea I'm just going to get rid of because it is not going to make it to the battlefield in time. Let us continue attacking from afar to get that small increments of side damage that we would see. How do I want to play this? We're going to do too much attack, which is unfortunate. We're going to die the moment you move, which is also unfortunate because you gain attack from moving. And we might as well get you out of the way then. You're not useful to us. Attack the imposing beauty from afar. Could attack hyperactive roast to pop this off, which I believe is the decision I'd make. Okay. Oh, we're going to take damage here. That's fine. Can Shomei's healer make it in time? I believe the answer is yes. We'll still live even if I take that 2 damage. And we have nothing to really worry about because we have that heal. Now we can... What do you want to do? We can board, or we just need to get 5, so 5, 6 is going to be it, and this unit is gone. Now, oh my goodness. Everyone has very low HP here. One strat, we need to get rid of something here, so let's see. Attacking the resistive bulwark is useless. Attacking the hyperactive roast is not useless. Gonna bring everybody towards us. Now, we need to throw damage at these in small increments. Otherwise, we're going to have a problem. What's a good unit to do small amounts of damage? Well, the Petite Sharpshooter is a great choice, because we can do a small amount of damage, add more impede. There we go. That 4 wasn't great, but the 2 is. It only has 2 HP, so we can make just our standard Tea of War. Go in, take you out. Wait. Want to do something about the hyperactive roast. Make another Nighty Night. Like to hit this one just to get damage spread across to everybody. Wait. Hit from the back lines now. Sacrificial. That explosion was good. Do a Tea of War. It will take damage, but a Tea of War will also... Oh, we can't make anything. Will also make some nice things happen. So now that we have this unit, stay here. You might as well... Oh, that was not quite the unit I want, but you might as well get there. And the reason it had that much movement is that it was made with Silver Needle. It's around here. I can attack. I should attack. What other units we got? Go, my scouts. Go, my scouts. We've almost won this level in a pretty good amount of turns, actually. The resistive bulwark is a problem. The glycogen is putting in work. And the enemy doesn't have any tiles, and they are attracted to the glycogen, so they're not getting tiles. They do have a native passive economy, but as you can see, things are not so great for them. Just have to keep smacking them from a distance. I will make a sacrifice play here. Should have healed first, but I guess it doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you are out of here. In. The reason I'm attacking the beauty is just to get that 2 damage to the side. Go in, make your move. And now the only thing we have to deal with is the bulwark, so we want small increments of damage to go in like that too, and that's it. Beating the level. As we are speeding through the dialogue here, we are noting that we're about to go into a major boss fight against Yuenyeung, who is a coffee regent. And there is a problem because Yuenyeung, despite being a coffee regent, is both tea and coffee. This is what I was alluding to earlier when I was talking to Seabass. So they are wondering if they are even capable of imprisoning her, because if you imprison her in Fort Steep, well, it's overflowing with tea, and she has tea magics. So the question is, are we able to kill her if necessary? That's what they are debating. But we will leave the resolution of that for the next level. But before we get to the next level, we are back in Fort Steep. Our white tea princesses are nowhere to be found because they are active in the battlefield. Let's take a look at the updated map. This is what we were at before. And if we were to just go 1, we've captured the entire Barista Canyon. It is now ours because of that previous level. And you could see this little blue section is Yuenyeung's home, so it's kinda almost it for her. But we have some required dialogues, and we have a new visitor Masala Chai, Black Tea Princess. Let us communicate. And basically, to summarize, she's here just to see how things are. She is not participating in the war. Most importantly, she wants to speak with Mate, who she has never met. Mate was allied with the Coffee Empire. And she's a bit elitist and condescending. And Mate doesn't really appreciate it, so Mate lashes out at her and tells her to shove a pile of dirt into her mouth. She just cannot stand her. Because Masala Chai lives in this sort of fanciful world where everybody gets along, and Mate almost died. So, she gets yelled at. Let's go to the last required dialogue. Matcha and Roibus. And Roibus is upset at Genmaicha because she found out that Genmaicha and Mate have been getting somewhat along, except Mate earlier tried to kill Roibus and Chamomile. If you're new to the stream and this seems confusing, watch the previous two VODs. They are up on Twitch, they are up on YouTube. If you're jumping into this, you're jumping in at almost the halfway point of the game. But anyway, you can skip the optional dialogues, but it's mostly the other herbal tea princesses kind of proud that Mate stood up for herself, because Mate wasn't really acting herself. But let us do this major boss level, Yuenyeung's castle, defeat the enemy commander. We're back to our standard loadout. We have raspberry again. We also have chocolate. This is the last white tea level in the game. Let's look at our loadout. Of course, our sacrificial teas, our friends from the beginning. Got the tortoise chaw back. We have the court mage. We have the enlightened warrior again. And, of course, our friend, the stoma. I have been going fast through the plot. I'd like to talk a little bit about this, because this is a major moment and is the first major boss fight of the game. And there she is. The White Tea Princesses have now finally met Yuenyeung in person. You're a long way from home. We wish to parley. Speak your mind. Months ago, why did you attack the White Tea Realms? So from the perspective of the White Tea Princesses, she's the one who instigated the war. But from the perspective of Yuenyeung, I did no such thing. That day, all three of us found our homes under attack. Yuenyeung wants to provide comfort. Those were probably rogue forces. The Coffee Empire does not actually want to kill them. However, the brew we saw, the Kopicham, made of both tea and coffee, was the first sort of boss fight of the game. What I brew in my territory is my business alone. And specifically, she's calling into question where the fight took place. Did it take place along the Alkaloid River or across it? Because if you remember, Kopicham from level 3 was on Coffee Empire territory, not the Tea Realm territory. You entered my lands, built forts atop my hills, drove armies into my canyons, and now besmirch my gardens. A little bit of a parallel. The entire game starts when Baimunden's garden was besmirched. Baimuden just wants to talk to the Coffee Emperor and resolve everything. You occupied my lands, raided Marikino's manor, you bombed Cafe Olay's shores, you nearly killed Mate. How can you undo this damage? Mate's alive because of our rescue efforts, and yes, this is true. The Tea Realms did send Black Rose to try to rescue Mate, but as we saw, Mate was warned about the impending danger from Yuenyeung. And that's what she tells them here. Shomei is a bit confused by this. This is the first time the Tea Realms have learned about this action. I want to talk a little bit about the background music track you were hearing here. Only because the name of it on the OST is kind of something that I struggled with for a while. For some reason, I don't know why, I wanted to call it Velfarden, which I believe is Swedish for welfare, and then I was talked out of it, and the reason I was talked out of it was my game designer said naming the track in Swedish implies Sweden exists in this game, which it does not. Sorry if you are Swedish. Excuse me. So we just called it by the English-facing name, the translated name, Welfare. And I believe that was the best name I could have picked for this sort of imposing, but sort of not quite atonal, but this track that isn't really goal-oriented, you know? You risk your position as a coffee regent for Mate of all people, really. The Tea Realms have a very negative opinion of Mate for being condescending, sort of rude, aggressive, was not allied with the Tea Princesses. Yuenyeung is basically Mate's best friend. And despite Yuenyeung not being a violent person, she does not take kindly to Mate being insulted. Were your actions not treasonous? Excuse me. Yuenyeung is noting that they are very close to the Imperial capital, and that they didn't have that much resistance going through the Barista Canyon, previous level. So then the question is, why was her home undefended, basically? And here is a critical moment, and I'm going to read this line out loud. By saving Mate's life, I betrayed the trust of Cafe d'Oya. To face the three of you in combat, unaided, is the punishment I must now bear. Cafe d'Oya, is that who the Coffee Emperor is? This is the name drop moment. And there is something that I wanted to show here, which was the power that calling something by its name has. It's one thing to say the enemy, the emperor, so on and so forth. But once you put a name to it, you have slightly humanized it more. And that makes it more understandable, and that also makes it scarier. Because now, yes, the Coffee Emperor has an identity, is a person. We knew this now, but now there's a name. It's even more personal. And if they have that much respect as the Coffee Emperor, what is this person even like? I believe simply naming the person is a significant moment. And that's why I have Silver Needle here say this line that she says. Show her some respect. If she were not a compassionate leader, I would instead be dead. Shomei, sort of the smart one here, but quiet and antisocial in many regards, realizes that there is a pathway to avoid conflict here. Mate is still alive. Why not have Yuenyeung just surrender? I have considered joining you, I admit, but there is a greater option before me. If I defeat you and overrun your fortifications, I can rescue Mate. If I do that, I can convince the other coffee regents to provide for her not a mandate for land, but a true home. Basically, if the Tea Realms are defeated, while Mate is a prisoner and not allied with them, and Mate is freed, Mate gets to be a coffee regent, which is what Yuenyeung wants, is to have Mate be viewed as her equal. as a coffee regent born of tea. And that is Yuenyeung's motivation right now for why she needs to fight. What do you mean, a coffee regent born of tea? How is that possible? And here is a new music track, first time you hear it in the game. Close your eyes with me just for a moment. And if you pay attention here, Bai Muden's the only one who plays along with us. Do you feel it, your tea magics? I feel its lingering warmth whenever I exhale. Tell me, is it as amazing a sensation for you as it is for me? It's one of the few things in this world I cherish. So, these characters are human, but they have magical powers. And if you're a tea princess, you have tea magics. And depending on where you are in the sort of weird hierarchy of the universe, you may experience that more strongly than others. Sort of at the top of the chain is the most caffeinated of the teas, the sort of black teas. Get like to the white teas, the green teas, and herbal teas are all the way at the bottom there. So when they exhale, they feel tea magics. But when they inhale, they don't feel anything. But it's different for coffee regents. Our power comes from the confident breath we take from the world around us. Yours comes from the thoughtful breath you turn to the ether. Me, I experience both sensations with every breath I take, because Yuenyeung can use coffee magics and tea magics. And this is related to the actual drink that it's based off of. It's made of tea and coffee. To balance equally both tea and coffee, it's sort of an eye-opening experience. Everything starts to make sense. It's a very calming, philosophical state of being. Shomei notes and asks, if that's the case, why do you look so pained? Yuenyeung believes she is the only person, because she is the only person who could use tea magics and coffee magics, to ever know what this feels like. It is indescribable in nature. However, to maintain that balance, that perfect meditative balance, does not come to her naturally. Because her tea magics burn brighter than her coffee magics, and this is also reflecting the drink that it is based off of. Yuenyeung is made with more tea than it is coffee. And Bai Muden realizes, wait a minute, that means you are a tea princess. If you feel tea more than coffee, why not be a tea princess? And Bai Muden, who went from sort of this elitist, rude person at the beginning of the game, starts to realize, well, hang on now. There's not as much that makes us different. You could be the tea princess. Mate could be the tea princess. We could give you land. We could give you safety. You could join us effectively. This is a painful statement for Yuenyeung to hear, because she does believe that it is authentic in nature. Bai Muden's not just saying this because it's convenient, right? She's saying it because she genuinely believes it. And Yuenyeung realizes that, but even still, she finds it not as pure as it could be. Because she has seen how the tea realms treat others. She has seen what happened to the herbal tea realms. She has seen what happened to Matcha. The white tea realms have finally realized their mistakes. And therein lies the problem. They had to learn how to be sympathetic, but Cafe Doya didn't. She didn't need to start a war to grow as a person. She is naturally loving, naturally caring. And this is a challenging subject to deal with, I think, in your day-to-day life, because let's think about if you were a young child and you were bullied by somebody at school, and now you're an adult, and the bully, who's also an adult, apologizes to you. It's a genuine apology, probably. They probably genuinely realized what they did was wrong. But that doesn't change the fact that what they did was wrong, right? That doesn't change the fact that if you were a child being bullied by them, you suffered in a way you shouldn't have suffered. And it leads to the question of, well, other people your age, other people as ignorant about the world as you are, didn't bully me, didn't have to treat others like that, right? So that's what she's picking up on, is that it is a good thing to learn and become a better person. But how much leeway do you give that? And that is not a question I'm ready to answer, and I don't think that's a question anybody's ready to answer. But that's the thing that Yuenyeung believes. She believes that because Cafe Doya didn't need to learn these things, that she just is inherently a nice person. That's the person she wants to follow. And so despite having more tea magics than coffee magics, she has alliance to the Coffee Empire. Bai Muden notes that, hey, in the Old War, the Coffee Empire murdered Tea Princess after Tea Princess. This is information we've learned. The Coffee Empire was the one killing Tea Princesses, not the Tea Realms killing Coffee Regents. And there's a huge list of characters who have died in that Old War. Yanhong, Kicha, Kimun, Sencha, Roigui, and Tieguanyin. Yuenyeung can't really retort to that, but she can retort to the sympathy being shown for Dianhong. Dianhong tried to kill Yuenyeung, and this is sort of what triggered and started the Old War. And Yuenyeung was a kid, so this goes back to that bullying thing. What did Yuenyeung do wrong? She can't understand it. And Bai Muden smartly realizes that she has no ability to answer what was going on in Dianhong's head back then. That's impossible, and Dianhong is dead now. But Bai Muden can do the next best thing, which is to promise this will never happen again. And that's why this conversation's a bit difficult for her. Closes her eyes, she takes another breath. There's that perfect balance once more. Coffee magics provide me confidence. Tea magics provide me conviction. You have your ideals and I have mine. Let us battle and accept the outcome. Yuenyeung has a very positive outlook, especially compared to her best friend Mate, who has a very negative outlook. And I think this one line summarizes it, that despite all the bad things, despite being bullied, despite her almost dying, despite her existence being what triggered the Old War, she is a positive person through. And now we begin the battle. And as always, survey the battlefield. Also, new music. There's a pretty big map here. We got stuff on our side that we can get. Lots of resources. We got bridges guarded by some units we've never seen before. We got the central pool area surrounded by tiles. Got this little empty space here. And then we have this pretty long pathway up here. Let us look at some of these new units and figure out what's going on. The Yawning Trickster we have seen. It applies Sleepy when it is hit by another unit. This is very dangerous because that will disable abilities. We've seen the Raspy Juggernaut get stronger every time you hit it. The Pensive Foot Soldier. When this unit is hit by something, it gains regen. So if you hit it but don't kill it, it will start healing itself. Decaffeinated Kobe-chan. Look at this friend. Very tired. When it hits you, the enemy gains coffee beans and you lose tea leaves. And the votive, I don't actually know, Energizer deals 50 healing, but when it heals, it dies. So part of the things you need to be careful of here is you don't want to attack these too soon, because if it attacks you, you lose economy. So you want to attack them last after you're done brewing things. How do we want to play this? The way I like to play it is, I like to move Silver Needle all the way up. I like to move this chocolate to this tile. I'd like to claim that. I'd like to move this chocolate to this tile, and I'd like to claim this tile. We got to get these resources. Very important. Do not let the enemies cross this bridge. And up we go. Keep a space for brewing. Up we go. Now we want to capture some of these, but we could use Silver Needle to start making our way there. We can make Stomas. We can make Enlightened Warriors. We've got a lot of options here. Stomas are going to be something we want to make. And we can only make one right now, but if we get these other resources, we'll be able to make more. Let us have Aimuden make a Stoma now. Start moving that in. Get the mini Stoma. Let's make ourselves a healer scout. Get those tiles. Now I'm actually going to make a sacrificial tea here. And the reason is we're going to use this guy later. But okay. So now over here, we can't make another Stoma, but we can make an Enlightened Warrior, which has crazy movement. Now we're running low on what we can brew. We've used all the units here, so it's time to start jumping to our resources. Sacrificial teas are good because they will deal a lot of damage, but any damage we deal is basically going to be like triggering these units. But the Tortoise Char will survive and on hit will reflect damage, which is also good. So before we attack, I want to decide if we want to make one more thing. The answer is, of course we do. Why wouldn't we want to make one more unit? Now we can't make anything more. Let's go in. That's our turn. Enemy did a short turn. She's going to start making her way in. So we got rid of one of these votive energizers, which is nice. We now have quite a bit of resources, and we are able to make another Stoma. And we should consider making it with Silver Needle, because big movement. Let's consider ourselves back here now. Before we attack, I want to move some things into position. Are able to make another Tortoise Chaw. It can't go in, but what I want to do is use this Pipsqueak Scout that we made with Shomei to get some nice regen on everybody. And now, go in. I'm going to start moving these little babies up. Start moving everybody up. Everybody move up. This is not a level we want to waste units in. Up 2. Now the scout, gonna move the scout. Where do we want to move the scout? Scout will be useful to get this tile once we break through, so let's keep the scout there. And these scouts will become useful for that reason. Let's continue. Alright, the enemy took all the resources, but we are making this path. The enemy made some more votive energizers, which is kind of hilarious to think about. You're in my way. So it only has 1 HP. Excuse me, please move. Now, we're not going to attack yet, because we can still make things. Just going to get things ready for it. Not quite ready yet to do the attack, because we can still make things. But really, this is looking pretty good once we start attacking. This needs a little more help. Question is, what would I like to make? Healers are good. More offensive units are good. To make a tortoise jaw. Now we can go in for the attacks. Get that blitz in. Deal some massive damage. Get some AoE healing. Get some poison. Do the same thing up here. And not much we can do here. Just keep our units nice and stationary. We'll end our turn. So now we have stomas on the bridge. We are going to... Oh yeah, we have bonus dialogue because it's a battle. You feel it, Baimuden. The sense of wonder, the sense of respect, this... What's the word I'm looking for here? Veneration. Yuenyeung is very positive here, and Baimuden is a little concerned because they're fighting each other. Unfortunately, the healing is there, but that unit's gone. Enemies are moving in. Yeah, active Kopichams would be scary here. Hello, Vlad. Oh, good, it hit the bomb. And these guys keep making healers. This AI. Okay. Let's consider what we would like to do. I would like to make another stoma. Fortunately, I can't really move it that well. I would like to also make another nice little healing unit. We could do it with a chocolate. Let's move this one out, move this one in to get the healing on the stoma. Let's start sacrificing the babies. Clear the path a bit. In you go. Any more that want to go away? Yes. Just want to whittle you down until there's nothing left. You can go in. Blitz time. Getting some big damage here. Start sacrificing these babies. Yeah, that's the name of the game. Start moving things up. I want to get these scouts in position to like break through when we can. Let's go back to over here. Oh, this one's almost done. This one is done. Okay. We can break through. That is very exciting. Now this unit here is a bit annoying. Let's see what we can do about it. Prickly will damage the Matcha Vanguard. We can get some chocolate shields up. We can... I think the chocolate shields will be the right course of action here to start attacking the resistive bulwark. The other option is to do a rotation here to get the baby in so the baby can knock that shield out. Alright, now we're talking. So I can get rid of you. Die there. Excellent. Babies go in. Babies go in. I could rotate the stoma. Ooh, we gotta be careful about that sleepy unit there, though. That's scary. But I was thinking if I rotate the stoma, these mini stomas can go in. So I would like to do that, and I believe I need to block the path so that this guy doesn't cause a disaster to happen. That in, move that in. Excuse me. Get a lot of poison. Haven't attacked with this yet. Could get even more shields. Its attack is pretty high. But I can survive a hit here now. Now we can attack in. Good healing, good healing. Do 2 damage. Do 2 damage to lose my shield. That's probably worth it. Because 6 means I think it dies next confrontation. Silver Needle moves up. Scout can't do anything other than give more regen to other units. So sure, Baby can't move up. This Scout, I think I want to move up. Okay, that's our turn. Let's see what happens. I feel as if I'm almost ready to face you directly. I'm sorry for having to hide behind my army. It's clear you don't want to fight us and we don't want to fight you, so why go through all of this? Is belief in Café de Oya truly all you need? It is. But one day we will meet her, that is true. Unfortunately, the Kopi-chan attacked the wrong unit there, but fortunately, we're deflecting damage off of it. Unfortunately, that sleepy unit is going to hit us. With the 2 Kobi-chams, because they're side by side, they're sort of healing each other, and there goes one of them. Big heals, big damage, nice. Yep, now we're disabled on our trigger, but we still are a high attack unit, which is good. Oh yeah, we're clearing that path, it's happening. Big damage, big damage. They're just coming our way. We are going to start capturing that center area this turn. We have scouts that are ready to do it. In fact, the scout is already ready to do it, so let's just do that now. Excellent. We need to deal with this. 2 HP. Send just the basic unit. Save the attacks of the big guys for later. Okay. Or can't hurt the resistive bulwark, but we can hurt the yawning trickster. And we will. Let us move this back. We're going to want to get some healing soon. Look down here. Tortoise Chaw can do big damage to high HP enemies if it's 7 or more. Of course, we have other options to deal with that here. Let's start by just doing a little bit of damage. 4 damage, nice. Let us get a little bit of healing in. Actually, this is going to be the play. Here's why that's the play. Heal both of them. Thank you. You clear that for me. Good job. You can now go in. Clear that for me, please. Good job. Now, got some baby stomas. Got another stoma. Got some baby stomas, which can't really move anything, but... Now, we can't make another stoma, but we can make court mages, which are amazing at dodging and have very high move. And that's exactly what I want. Let's get rid of you, please. Thank you. We can make more scouts. Start moving the babies in. A little bit of traffic here. Scout needs to make that scout go forward. Some healing in. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Yep. Distraction scout, go. Excellent. Okay, we have to be a little cognizant of our resources, but we can play this right. We can make, because this only requires 1 tea leaf, make a, let's see, what do I want to make? I'd like to make a tortoise jaw here. Do the initial damage here. Reflect some of that back. Question is, do I move it here? If I move it here, I can't brew with this tile. But I can move it forward, or keep it here. And the next thing is these have 6 HP. This is make it with the chocolate. Yes, because the chocolate will then get some armor here. That's great. We have 7, so start dealing some damage, please. You should remain in place. Stomas are here. Stomas are here. A Stoma can kill this in one hit, and it needs to. Otherwise, that will trigger, which is bad. And I want to have the baby. Get rid of you, thank you. Stoma, I need you to this. Remember, this baby is here. Can I get enough damage? Excellent. Okay, we could take that tile, which will be good. We can move this here and do small amounts of damage, which is also what we want. We can start moving her close. I don't want to get too into that. This baby's not going to make it in time, so we're just getting rid of it. Never thought fighting against the 3 of you would feel so exciting. Yuenyeung, you realize we're at war, right? To capture you, there's a high probability that we will have no choice but to end your life. I already know you're not capable of such a thing. How can you be so certain? You're not the first tea princess to threaten my lands. Right? Dianhong tried to kill her. But Yuenyeung does not see the same energy in Silver Needle. If you defeat us, what comes next? You and I are the same. And now it's time for Yuenyeung to start brewing. And this is the fun bits. Because the music's also going to start evolving at this point. Things are getting crazy. Oh, I didn't do the dodge. No. Collecting a lot of damage, at least. Collecting a lot of damage, at least. Right. Let's see what the damage is. Here's Yuenyeung. She made this unit. So when she makes a unit, her units are like the decaf Kopicham, but with a stronger effect. +4 coffee, -4 tea leaf. We have some stomas. Go in. Go in. We need to send in the babies. Pop that shield off. Which damage do I do? 3? Okay. Which HP do you have? 5? Okay. 4. Do 4. I am sleepy, though. Right, this unit can't use its triggers, which is sad. Can do this bonus damage initially. I will lose out on the triggers if I do that. That bonus damage might be worth it on the Yawning Trickster. Get that 4 in, and now I'm sleepy, so I will not reflect damage, but I think that was worth it. Send in the babies. Baby squad. Oh, that baby can't make it. This unit can make it. Damage. This one will kill it. Nice. Chocolate. And start attacking the Pensive Foot Soldier. Or start attacking the Doppio. I think the Doppio might be the right choice. Now the music's changing. Oh, I didn't get the kill there. That's sad. But that is okay, because we can... This. Attack this one. Reflect damage. Found. Baby will attack this one. There's that music change that we all love. Get some healing here. In. Attack this. Start getting closer. It is Stoma time. Well, Stoma should probably be made by Silver Needle, if you think about it, because I can't make 2 Stomas this turn. And Silver Needle, even if it's disabled, made sleepy, the Stoma has higher attack. I think that's worth it. Start reflecting some damage. Baby time. Use these babies to your advantage. Bring them in. You've made your stuff. I don't want to block the food sources. What can I make with you? Chocolate is or a tortoise cha is probably good. I want to still do more damage here. So we gotta be careful about some of this. Sacrificial teas are always welcome. This will kill that unit. Am I able to move anything there? Not quite. I have to be careful here because I want to get this raspberry tile. I am sort of limited by raspberry right now. Well, yeah, raspberry and blueberries are what I'm limited by. This unit can something, but much. And I can make a unit that won't have enough move to make it here. Will have healing. Probably worth making sacrificial to claim that. Okay. Now we start moving units in. Keep this scout for now. Baby go up. 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 That's it. We are using everything we can do every turn. And Yuenyeung's going to sort of stay in that corner tile. Reflecting all that damage and healing. Oh, they have bigger healers. Why? Oh. Well, we killed one of them with that reflection. That was actually very nice because by killing that one, excuse me. By killing that one, this one didn't have anything to heal. Damn, I am dying. So if you have a unit that's dying, this sleepy unit needs to be taken care of first. It is a big threat if we do not take care of it. You have 1 HP, so goodbye. Did that. Let's just start getting you out of the way. We need to clear this unit. It's very important to clear that unit. Okay, you have 3 HP. I do 3 damage. We can do that. Excellent. So the reason this is kind of important, I have these injured units, right? But Stoma, when it's being attacked, reflects healing to its allies around it. That's going to be very important because now we're healing, right? Let's do that here again. We're healing and dealing damage, so that's clearing that. And now look, this is at full health. It wasn't before. Now we can clear you out of the way, get rid of that block. Why are you still alive, Pensive? I can't attack with you. That is fortunate. Attack with you, though. Okay, that's great. So, now that we have that, we can start really moving forward. Oh boy, it's another... Well, if we're already sleepy, move in, own it. It's not like they're gonna... It's not like things can change that much. Go in. Have the baby take that. You can go in. You have to be careful with this also. And I need to be careful because now her units are going to start having a negative impact on our economy. Let us make another Stoma. Go in. Heal the Stomas. Okay. Right, I have big move. I should move this out of the way, and the reason I should is so that in make that for now. I should move you out of the way, and the reason for that is so Shomei can move in. Get some healing. Okay, great. Now nothing can attack that, which is actually kind of ideal. Start bringing the stomas in. All the stomas to the front, please. Yeah, I can make something from a tile. That will be the turn. So we have 6 stomas, which is more than we've ever had. But we are making our way in. Bye, healer. Oh yeah, reflect all the damage and healing. Feels good. And the poison. So, with the Court Mage, I want to try to sneak you in. See if we dodge. We dodged. Excellent. I wanted to do that to get rid of the... what's it called? It's at 1 HP. Out of the way. Send in a baby to finish job. Send in a stoma to continue the chaos. So we're going to have a stoma hit this thing, right? But we got to be careful because this was made by Yuenyeung. And if I can just sneak in another stoma. Just before things get too chaotic. Start attacking. Everybody in. Calling all baby mini stomas to sacrifice themselves. Okay, move in. Don't want to brew yet. I would like to make something with another Court Mage, perhaps. And do 5 damage with 7 move. Start moving in. Alright, babies. It's your time. And we will use... Okay, yes. Oh, I hit the wrong unit. That's fine. Are you able to attack? Yes, you are. Good. Can't attack. Can't do anything. But we can start moving this sort of cacophony of units all the way up. Can't make anything because I was aggressive. As long as the stomas move up, we're good, and I don't think these other units are going to be very helpful for us. Fortunately, I'll just get them out of the consideration. And anything else that can should move. They're not going to be useful for us. Okay. Nice, Vlad. Oh man, they're really pumping up their economy. Oh no, the full heal. I dodged the attack. I did not dodge that one. That is unfortunate because now I am sleepy. But the status effect will still work. Okay, go in. Go in. Okay, we just need to do 1 damage, and it is here. Bye. With a different ending track. Let's listen to that victory music. Your fate will be decided upon. We are about to enter a very pivotal moment of the game. It's kind of the halfway point in many regards that finally going to enter, but before we kick things off, I would like to get some water because I'm going to do a lot of reading. I shall be right back. We are back. It is time to have Bai Muden and Earl Grey speak with one. It's time. Let us begin. Shall show this graphic. This is a scene that internally was called Trial of Yuenyeung. Fellow tea princesses, we stand here today to judge the fate of Yuenyeung. She is a coffee regent, coffee magics and tea magics. The latter is why she is a threat here at Fort Steep. Allow us to introduce the problem. Bai Muden has the floor. So as we saw in the previous level, at the conclusion of said level, Bai Muden wrote a letter, as she usually does, to the Coffee Empire. The hope was that by saying we've captured a coffee regent, end the war now, so that the war would end. Cafe de Oya finally sent a reply. This is the first time they've had communication. But all her letter read was, we will not negotiate. Chomei will continue. So if she were like the other coffee regents, no problem keeping her prisoner indefinitely. But she controls tea magics. She can escape at any time. She can make tea minions with the tea magics and escape. But, understandably, noting the same risk also exists with Mate, who is also currently excuse me. So, to ensure that she is safely kept incarcerated, a tea princess must always guard her. And to guard her properly, the tea princess must be able to use tea magics, which means Yuenyeung also would be able to use tea magics. Fort Steep is the safest space for all of this, but risk is great. Bai Muden is the sole decider here. She is the arbitrator. Let us see what everybody says. Here is Mint, a green tea princess, wishes to know what is the alternative to detaining her at Fort Steep. They cannot return her, so it's either detain her indefinitely or execute her. Mint asks, wouldn't executing her aggravate the Coffee Empire further? Bai Muden says, if she were valuable, they would have negotiated. Yuenyeung confirmed that the Coffee Empire refused to reinforce the Barista Canyon. So Mint frames this in a specific way. The question isn't, what do we do with Yuenyeung? The question is, do we kill her? Mint does not want that to change because, to her knowledge, the Tea Realms have never killed, even in the It is now time for Earl Grey to speak. Earl Grey being a black tea princess. Earl Grey notes, she defeated Cafe au Lait in battle, but she did not kill her. Because of that, what has Earl Grey done since? Or what has Cafe au Lait done since? Assaulted the tea princesses, annexed Mate's land, continuously having war against them. Earl Grey wonders, if I did kill her, Mate might have grown up as in the tea realms. So Earl Grey is now taking responsibility for what happened to Mate, to some extent. If Yuenyeung attempts to escape, she will have to fight us here. We are strong enough to win, but can we win without casualties? Earl Grey wants to try to change Mint's perception, to convince Mint that we shouldn't keep her imprisoned indefinitely. But Mint notes correctly that it is a matter of speculation what could have happened should she have killed Cafe au Lait. Many of us in this room were in our infancy during the war. If the Coffee Empire had decided to drive further south, the majority of us would not be here today. They didn't resort to regicide because we didn't. Building back to Earl Grey. But they did resort to regicide, as we know that there are tea princesses who have died. Of the tea princesses who fought in the Old War, the only survivors are Earl Grey and Matcha, who is kind of off doing her own thing right now on a different island. As Earl Grey has noted. So finally, Earl Grey's statement, the only appropriate response to regicide is regicide. How many more tea princesses must die before we realize this? Next, we're going to talk about the herbal tea realms, who are not normally respected enough to be at such a gathering, but their opinion is being asked for this one. As Chamomile notes, they are not really the classiest people in terms of actual classism. I believe the Coffee Empire allowed Yuenyeung to be captured because of her tea magic. Not defeat your enemy from without, defeat them from within. So Chamomile is speculating that Yuenyeung is sort of a sleeper agent. Get her into the fort, have her wreak havoc from the inside. But what does Roibus think? Why not banish Yuenyeung to an island where she has no power? Roibus says, hey, Bai Muden, why didn't you consider this? There's only one hospitable island that they know of, which is occupied by Matcha. What about inhospitable islands? Well, she would starve to death. Execution is a more humane means of ending one's life than starvation. I believe that's personally true. Are we not capable of delivering essentials to her on our banished island? So there are unoccupied islands that could be used for that, but they are in sort of disputed islands between the Tea Realms and the Coffee Empire, so they cannot be used. Roibus is happy with the additional context, and with all those details known, also agrees with Earl Grey. So, on the side of Yuenyeung should not be killed, we have Mint. Currently on the side of she should be, we have Earl Grey, Chamomile, and Roibus. Next, we have Dragonwell, another green tea princess, and a very highly regarded one at that. She is noting what happened to Genmaicha earlier, how the Coffee Empire and other coffee regents were going to kill Genmaicha no matter what. So, because she believes detainment would not change that, she agrees with Earl Grey. She's on Team Kill as well. And now, Genmaicha, sort of, she goes against the grain most of the time here, so let's see what she has to say. Excuse me. The Old War began because Yanhong tried to kill Yuenyeung. That is what she believes. That is what Matcha has said. That is what documents they stole from Marikino have said. That's just the way things are. She was considered so special an individual that Marikino intervened and killed Yeonhong. The Coffee Emperor, Cafe d'Oya, favors Yuenyeung. These are things we know. So then why have they all turned on her now? Was it because of the attacks on the White Tea Realms, attacks that she denies responsibility for? Would Marikino have intervened if they didn't drive her out of her manor? It's possible that the political situation in the Coffee Empire prevented Cafe d'Oya from taking action. What she is saying is everything we are talking about here is speculative in nature. They do not have a complete understanding of the world around them. They do not know what's going on in the Coffee Empire. They do not have time to find out. But then, Genmaicha shifts the conversation away from that. The little sly here. He's using a tactic that you could object to, but she is shifting this quite intentionally by making it about character evidence. Now, in a normal court of law, character evidence is not admissible in most cases. This is not a normal court of law, of course. And Genmaicha is perhaps showing us here why character evidence shouldn't be admissible into court, but she's going to take advantage of this. So let's ask, if Yuenyeung were born in the Tea Realms, would she be a tea princess? And she ties it to her own experience of how she has been treated as a tea princess that has an affinity for rice, thus is viewed as the lowest of the low. That the Tea Realms will not do it. However, we know that the Coffee Empire accepted her. We know they even accepted Mate, who has no coffee magics. So, she believes coffee regents would not be abandoned. She also believes it's not an elaborate plot. So going back to that speculative nature, now this is the trick she used. She made it about character evidence first. She rejected speculation to make it about character evidence to bring a different line of speculation. She rejected the previous speculation. This is crafty. It's not admissible. This would have so many problems in an actual court. But she's trying to play something very specific here to get that sort of emotional appeal and to make her speculation stand out more than Earl Grey's speculation. But she ties it back to facts here. How was Yuenyeung brought to Fort Steep? Defeated in her home, surrendered. On the way here, on the way to Fort Steep, she could have revolted but didn't. By the time she got to Fort Steep, she was fully recovered. She had plenty of opportunities to escape. So then, if she's biding her time, what is she waiting for? Why didn't she escape when it was just the White Tea Princesses? Now she has to deal with everybody. So, here's the question. Have we asked her these questions? Have we talked to Yuenyeung? And the answer, of course, is no. And this is a fair rule. If you have a major prisoner, do not talk to the major prisoner without permission. And Genmaicha would like to talk to her. Silverneedle doesn't really see the point in that. Doesn't also see the point in Mate. Not because Mate is a herbal tea princess, because as you saw, we talked to Chamomile, talked to Roibus, because Mate was allied with the Coffee Empire. They're both prisoners. Silverneedle protests a bit. And here we go again. Genmaicha is bringing it back to character evidence. She is doing this almost seamless, but kind of evil, conniving, flip-flopping on speculation versus actual facts versus character evidence in order to make an emotional appeal. And it works. She's played the emotions enough that Earl Grey gets furious at this request. They fight a bit, and Silverneedle needs to break up the fight and decides maybe the best way to do that is to actually have a recess and bring them in before these two start killing each other. Brought them in. Let us see what shall happen. Now, Mate's appeal here is entirely emotional. And how else could it be? Genmaicha won already. At this point, Genmaicha's won. Because Genmaicha's now made it about judging Yuenyeung's character. And when it comes to judging the character, we already know Yuenyeung is a very nice person. So let's listen to Mate, who people don't like. Mate is a hateful individual, and she admits it. And she didn't really care about the fact that she was in the Coffee Empire. She didn't care about the fact that her land was a mandate from Cafe au Lait until she met Yuenyeung. See, Cafe au Lait is kind of like that sort of posh. You'll meet her later. You'll see. We've actually met her once already, but in meeting Yuenyeung, Mate's perspective on the world changed a bit, and that's what actually led her to be loyal to the Coffee Empire. Because she saw somebody with tea magics like her respected at basically the highest level of society you can be at in the Coffee Empire, short of being the emperor. And so Mate testifies that Yuenyeung saved her life. Yuenyeung actually intervened on behalf of the Tea Realms. And then a little bit of self-deprecation. Earl Grey is upset here because, as she says, the plan to send Black Rose your way emerged rapidly. There is no possibility that Yuenyeung could have possibly communicated with you on the matter. And Mate admits she doesn't know how this is possible. But Yuenyeung did tell her where Black Rose was, how to get there, about the imminent threat, and if not for that, Mate would not be here. And Mate, of course, is being quite dramatic here. She's been through a lot. Silver Needle, who is basically the head tactician here, wants to know how did Yuenyeung discover their plans. And Yuenyeung answers. She's very close to Fort Steep. She knew about all of this. She knew they would fight at the expense. She knew they would allocate resources to rescuing Mate in favor of reclaiming Genmaicha's land. She knew of the plans to raid Marikino's home, and she ensured that Marikino would not be present when they did. Silver Needle isn't happy about all that knowledge. So what else does the Coffee Empire know? And Yuenyeung kind of makes this reveal here. Never said that the Coffee Empire was what knew about these. From Marikino's perspective, the raid on her manor was a coincidence. She is the one who knows these things. And whether or not she divulges that information is up to her. That, of course, has the implication that Yuenyeung, a coffee regent, knows about these plans that the Tea Realms have, but isn't sharing that information with the Coffee Empire. That is basically actively aiding the Tea Princesses. So the question is, why? And from Yuenyeung's perspective, she's not helping them. She was helping her friends. Tell Mate, how to get to safety so Mate doesn't die. Tell Marikino, to leave, to just do something else during that time so Marikino won't get hurt. That is Yuenyeung's perspective. She just didn't want her friends to get into conflict. And so Mint asks sort of the final question. If you defeated the White Tea Princesses, what would have happened to them? Would have imprisoned them and used them as leverage to force you to sue for peace. And if you had captured any other coffee regent, one without tea magics, Yuenyeung imagines that they would have done the same. Instead, they have to ask a sort of difficult question. How is Yuenyeung so calm? Well, as she said before, he was going to accept the outcome of the battle no matter what. And then she puts it in perspective. She lost to 3 tea princesses with basically little to no war experience, didn't fight in the old war, didn't really fight before. She didn't fight Earl Grey. She didn't fight like an actual veteran. Is she really so scary? At the end of the day, I am a weak woman. And this line makes Mate cry. Because Mate is going through a lot, and doesn't like hearing her friend say these things. Yuenyeung did promise before to Mate that they will meet once again, and that indeed did happen. We will reconvene. So, it is time to make the decision. He has. Deliver it. Yuenyeung is an extreme threat. Her value for political bargaining is negligible, as we have seen. It is clear that she is a danger that does not provide any benefit to the survival of the Tea Realms. But here's the thing that Baimuden believes. Will they continue not to value a coffee regent? And this is her perspective. The situation can change, as it has already changed. And from her inner perspective, something did change. She got a letter back from Cafe de Hoya. She got an actual response. She's been sending letters this entire time and finally got at least some level of acknowledgement. That is a noticeable change. And so, either, in her mind, the coffee empire will eventually cave and want their coffee regent back, or if not, welcome Yuenyeung as a tea princess. And Earl Grey is furious about this. And if you're wondering why is Earl Grey such a jerk about it, Earl Grey fought in the Old War, as we have heard. She fought Cafe au Lait. There's a big history. Earl Grey's kind of seen what the coffee empire is capable of from like a military perspective. And she's basically one of, if not the only character here who really knows what that's like. Cue the title theme. With Baimuden closing her eyes once more, describing the energy of tea magics that guide all of these characters here. And, you know, as everyone, as Mate has said, as everyone else has said, Yuenyeung is different. Would view her as a tea princess, equal to you. Yes. Equal to even me? Yes. Unbelievable. And so the decision has been made. Yuenyeung will live as prisoner, and anybody can talk to her as long as you treat her with respect. Dismissed. But conflicts are not over. So, Earl Grey and Baimuden have been having this rift form in their relationship since the start of the game. Originally, if you think about the hierarchy of tea society, Earl Grey is at the top, and Baimuden is high up there, but not at the top, and Baimuden greatly respects Earl Grey. So, Earl Grey is kind of shocked at what she's hearing here. Explain to me how you view a coffee regent as my equal. I certainly do not find Cafe au Lait your equal, but, as we've said, Yuenyeung is different. She's the one who attacked your lands at the start of all this. She continues to deny involvement. And you believe her? I do. Do you realize what you're admitting? Remember the first level of the game, Baimuden was attacked. If you believe you were not directly attacked by her, then the attacks in level 1 and level 2 were not from Yuenyeung. And if that was the case, the entire war is predicated on her crossing the Alkaloid River in level 3. Tell me you understand the consequences of that statement. If Yuenyeung did not strike first, then you struck first. Do you know what that means? That means the Tea Realm started the war. And that means Baimuden was the one who aggressed the Coffee Empire first, which is currently what Genmaicha believes, by the way. And that was 17 weeks ago. Level 1 was 17 weeks ago. So, was that a lie? Is the entire war a lie? Well, it's complicated because we've played through level 1 and we've played through level 2, and we know that they were attacked. So Baimuden simply says she doesn't believe Yuenyeung was the responsible party, despite being the neighboring party. Perhaps Coffee Emperor, or Cafe au Lait, or Earl Grey cuts her off. All of them are allies of Yuenyeung. Yuenyeung is part of this group of people that at least one of them had to have launched this attack, this surprise attack into the White Tea Realms. How could you consider her your equal when she stands beside those who try to murder you? Well, she's wondering that herself. Is this one woman truly that special? Well, speak with her yourself. Even if you are greater than I am, I consider myself your equal. I think that is Baimuden in a nutshell. Well, let's see what shall happen. I'm going to go fast through these dialogues, just explain at a cursory glance what they are about. Yeah, you could kind of tell that based on the fact that this happens that, oh, Yuenyeung might live. I wouldn't say that guarantees it. It could be the final comments before, the end. This conversation is basically Mate having a lot of self-hate and Yuenyeung being a good friend and them just making fun of other people in like a sort of friendly, fun way. It's cute. Next, we have Dragonwell talking to Genmaicha. And this one's just setting the stage for what the next level is about, so you'll see that then. I'm interested in having this optional dialogue of Earl Grey talking to Yuenyeung. So as we have established, Earl Grey hasn't spoken with her with the coffee regent in maybe 100 years. It has been many decades since I've spoken with a coffee regent. And of course, Yuenyeung is a gem, so her response, feeling nostalgic? What do you want to ask me? Just speaking, casually, with the enemy. Correct. You advocated to execute me mere moments ago, but now you just want to waste time with me. Exactly. Tell me a joke. A joke? It's your duty to keep your prisoners entertained, so I believe a joke is in order. My duty? To keep you entertained? What position do you think you're in? The position of being a bored woman. Prison's boring. We love Yuenyeung in this household. She is great. It's not supposed to be interesting. It's prison. Who says prison can't be interesting? Everybody. You could change that. Be a revolutionary. Don't you want to be remembered by history? Earl Grey, of course, fought in the Old War, so she's decently certain she will be remembered by history. You seem certain of that, but didn't you forget who Marikino was? So, Earl Grey fought Marikino, briefly, completely forgot about her, and didn't write her down in any of her books. Cafe au Lait's cousin, and you didn't even remember her. What's your point? History will forget about me? My victory against Cafe au Lait is meaningless? One deed isn't enough. You need two. Defeating the coffee empire in this war will be my second deed. I lied. You actually need three. Just moving those goalposts. What would this third deed be? Isn't it obvious? You're defining what it means to be a prisoner. You're a very bizarre woman. Thank you. That was not a compliment. Earl Grey's just like, why? This is not how I thought this would go. Let us take a look at its world map. It is updated. Right, so this was the us capturing the Barista Canyon, and this is us capturing all of Yuenyeung's land. There's that river we fought across, and you can see it here. So if we were to go back to that last map, there it is. And a little bit more. So let's see what shall happen next. The Lake Matcha Fields. Hey, Moody Bun. It's nice to see you. Moody Bun is an artist who plays very interesting indie games from time to time. Big recommendation. So, Lake Matcha Fields, level 13. Now remember, excuse me, in the base game there are 25 levels. Level 13 is officially across the halfway point. Let's check out our units. Because it's different from the first time we were here, which just had rice. We have 2 different blueberries. Our bomb, our winged tea, which has ranged attack. We have ballet tea. We got the guerrilla warrior. We got our 2 rice units, and we have the refined fusilier. See what this unit does soon. Let's make sure we got all our brews before we end, just for the sake of it. We have. Great. And let us continue. Hope everyone's having a good day today. We are finally back at Matcha's homeland. Observing the scope of damages wrought on her homeland. So Genmaicha shifts blame she has on this war a bit from Bai Muden to Earl Grey. And part of that is the result of Trial. Genmaicha's realized Bai Muden was they started off on the wrong foot, right? And that determined their relationship for quite a few in-game weeks. After the trial, Genmaicha's made a realization that maybe it wasn't Bai Muden, because Bai Muden only told Earl Grey contact the other tea princesses, and Earl Grey excluded Genmaicha. And Genmaicha wants to prove herself now. So she has confirmed finally that after the war, or after this battle, rather than just leaving the war front and staying here, she's going to stay. Because she wants to ruin Earl Grey's legacy. And all the others are like, oh boy, here we go again. And she believes that the tension between them is over. So then, why Earl Grey? What has Earl Grey actually done in this war? Didn't infiltrate the manor? They did. She didn't run the invaders out of the herbal tea realms. Black Rose did. What did she do other than summoning others? And even that task, she failed. And so this is what Genmaicha's new motivation is. And the others are like, please, don't do this. Of course, Genmaicha simply says that she doesn't need to do anything to expose it. She just needs to be there to observe it and record it when it happens. Which is pretty mild. But Genmaicha always needs to have an enemy, and so now the enemy has shifted. Let us look at this map. It is turn 1 of this battle. And if we go all the way to the left, you could see this is where the previous battle was. Same resource layout, all of that. There's that little strip. And we have a lot more over here. And a lot of resources that we need to capture. Start off with a decent chunk of units too. These are enemies we've all seen. Now previously we couldn't do anything about the over-caffeinated killer. 30 HP, crazy. Enemy does have some lemon. Not much. We do not have lemon, and there is no lemon on this map. All we have to do is capture everything and kill everything. Sounds simple, right? The other note is that you're hearing the first battle track again in this level, and this is the last level of the game that uses that initial battle track. I just felt it was very appropriate to go back to the more upbeat initial battle track. So Let us make our decisions on how we want to play this. Gonna start by getting all these lovely resource tiles, get all those boons, get all this brewing ready. And now comes the question of what do we want to do here? We want to make units with these, of course. So let us start with our Kunoichi tea, who is going to slowly start making her way to the front lines. Next, we will, for now, make a scout, because we want to make sure that Dragonwell's abilities get empowered by dragon power. And if we think about what we want from Mint, we want to make a unit that is going to use her passive very well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can start by making a ballet tea and start moving it towards this lovely sugar. Nice. Now, we need to start using our resource tiles here to start claiming resources. And really, you could just kind of make whatever, but I like to keep it minimal. I'd like to make some scouts if we're far away. As we get closer, we're going to make some legitimate units. And then you could do it very fast if you know all the hotkeys. So at this point, we have a lot of stuff we could do, but it's time to start thinking about what we want to do here. We could hit them from afar with some ranged units. That would be nice. Or we could use this Fusilier, and the Fusilier attacks things in sort of a straight line, and the further away it is, the more damage it does, which is pretty cool. So let's just make one more scout. And now I don't want to make a scout. I'd like to make a sacrificial. I'd like to make just a standard tea of war. I would like to make our winged tea to do this ranged attack because it will deal damage just a little bit. Claim that. Excuse me. From up here, we would like to take this tile. So there's part of the design here is that all of these resources are rice right up here. So even if the enemy breaches a little bit, they can't do anything with the actual resource. So you still have some level of buffer before they get to the really meaningful resource tiles back here. Because if you look at this, they don't have access to those. They have some at the start, but this is all just coffee bean tea leaf. So even if they breach, it's not the end of the world. Do not panic. Now we got to be a little bit careful on what resources we wish to make here. I'd like to make ourselves just nice sacrificial tea. Got all the resource tiles now. Now from here, we can just kill that unit outright if we wanted to. Excuse me. And we probably should. Question is, how do we want to kill it? Now we could use a guerrilla warrior. Go in, smack that, go in again, potentially. I think that's a decent idea. So go in, smack this, out of existence. Hurts itself, move in, start dealing some damage here. And we have some tiles we haven't utilized yet. But this one is like getting a bit close to what we would like, so let's make that Refined Fusilier. You can see its attack range here and how it works. Not ready to use it yet. And is there another tile we could make something from? Sure, we can. Start getting some of these sacrificial units ready. The rest is kind of just too far away for us to really want to use, so we shall end our turn early. See what happens. Here come the enemies. Yep, the enemy surrounded that guy. Oh boy. They breached. But remember, it's okay if they breach. We can deal with breaching. Because now, the enemy has no vanilla. So just because they breach does not mean it's the end of the world. I was a bit aggressive moving that guy in, just as a note, but hey, that's what we do here. Play aggressively. This will be a little bit difficult, though, with this unit so far up. So, let's see what we want to do here. I can hit back to this tile. I can hit that for the maximum 6, but has 7 HP. So one thing we could do is just give it a little tap. And the Fusilier is going to do that. Nice. Next, we start moving a bit closer. Really want to get these units up, especially the ones made by princesses. Up there. Here. Here, please make another Kunoichi. This unit's going to die if anything really taps it, so let's do exactly that. I'm going to make a little scout dance. I would like my scouts to be a distraction to the enemy. We are actually going to shift our scouts up as necessary. Start bringing these guys in. Start bringing them in. Shift scouts up. Just a standard T of war from you. Start bringing everybody forward. We want to shift scouts up. We want to deal with this. This is actually a very interesting opportunity because there is an opening here. Unfortunately, I can't quite get there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't quite get to it unless I have 8 movement. Now we're talking. Okay. I want to disrupt the enemy as much as possible. I really want to make them regret the day they fought me. T of war. Go in. Hit that. Cilia. Alright. 2 HP. Finish you off. It's gonna sit on that. Okay, great. Can't make much more. We do have a lot of problems about to emerge here. Do something about it. This is that something. Start moving up. Start moving up. Yeah, you can do something here, can't you? You're gonna die, but get that damage in. Up. Definitely start moving up. Up. That's the turn. So now the enemy's focus is going to be split a bit because of what we did. There's a front line, there's a back line. I got some things in the middle. This is going to reduce some of the tension we have at the front line, which is great. And we've really damaged their economy. It's going to be... I haven't had this level play out in this way before, so this is actually going to be a lot of fun to see what happens. I'm excited. Okay, so we have some control here. Very interesting. If we could get rid of this Doppio, we open the path to get these tiles. This path is open, so hello. Wow, that's Corridor of Death right there. So members start moving in. This bomb can put to good use here. That will allow, and we don't have any healers this level, but that will allow us to go in, get a nice attack here. This Kunoichi can go in, get a nice attack here. Reclaims that tile. I can do 6 in my move, and if I get a kill, I go again. So if we want to be safe about that, we should queue down. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all we need for this. Kill has been confirmed. 1, 2, 4. Kill has been confirmed because we have the amazing mint passive. 1, 2. Oh, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we are being disruptive. This needs to be dealt with. Have a big problem until that is dealt with. Fusilier can't get a clear shot right here. It's unfortunate. Again, move everybody up. Do not decommission your units. You will need them. What am I going to do with you? Let's have Genmaicha make T-Shogun, because the T-Shogun is going to be really good against the overcaffeinated killer. Mint can make basically any unit that can do a lot of damage, and I think that might be the Fusilier, but the Guerrilla Warrior is good. It's just a weak attack. About it, it's only 2. This could do up to 6. So just get your Fusilier ready. You just need to make any old unit. So how about you make the Guerrilla Warrior? That up, move that up. How about you start dropping some bombs? How about get some folks defending these tiles would be great. Well, guess I could sacrifice you, can't I? Some damage is better than no damage. Oh, Scout is here. And we have these tiles now to worry about. This is a interesting position. I could have made that. Okay, okay. Do the simple. 2 Tea of Wars. Let's get rid of you. Next. Make a ballet tea. So, yes. You out of the way. That's excellent. Okay, we have some situation here. You have 3 HP. You can only make a scout, and I might as well just make the scout to be a distraction. Distraction scout. Oh yeah, this. Your purpose here is to attack this guy. Oh, I could have moved that again. That's fine. So now the enemy is having an economic disaster, which is great. They're still dangerous, but denying them resource tiles is important. Oh, my poor ballet tea is surrounded. She is dead. Yeah, you attacked the wrong unit there, though. Relentless has won. You have 6 HP, 5 HP. units go away. Thank you. 6 HP. That's going to kill you. Oh, it didn't. I miscalculated. This is going to kill you. You have 3 HP, so go in, die. Now let's see what's going on here. Oh, all of my units from here are dead, but that's actually fine. You need the samurai to go in, make some moves happen. Big damage. Let's see. Great if we can make another. Big damage. Okay, that's good. Out move you in. Out. 15. Sacrifice unit. These are expendable for a reason. We need to get damage on it. 13. I could get the maximum 6 with mint. I would like to whittle it down just a bit more so I could get the kill and combo off of it. 9. One more. You have to hard focus with these guys. They're quite... Okay, there we go. That's it. That's it. Ballet T. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Get that kill. It's gone. Excellent. What about you? 11. Sacrificial Tea. 7. It's going to be an interesting decision here because I'm effectively saying I prefer this kill over this one. What movement do I have? I can't even make one. But I can do this. That actually is the correct decision. So, 1, 2, 3, 5. That'll do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's gone. 1, 3, 4. I'm going to claim this 5. 6. This one's gone, and so am I. That was an exceptionally good move. Whew. The pressure down there is gone. Still have pressure here. Dragonwell still hasn't blasted anybody from across the map. Can't fix this. Right now, the only thing I can make are Tea of Wars. And so if you're in that situation, just make them. You want to put damage in. What the heck? That made a regular espresso? That's so funny. Six, I will do 4. You. I should have that a bit differently. Up a path. That's fine though. Because if you come at me, you will die. I'm going to open that path up because I can brew another Tea of War. Decommission that instantly to brew another Tea of War. Oh, I thought I used all my movement. Oh dear. That's well, at least it's surrounded. Let's look over here. Scout me. Scout me again. This time I want the scout to, like, kind of... You guys go over there. Scout, go. Be a distraction. You sit. Forward. Oh, you can... Yeah, sit on that tile. Okay, they have only 1 resource tile. They'll probably... Well, 2 now. Let's see if they get more. 3 tiles in their possession. Oh, boy, Scout. Oh, boy. Oh, we got the new unit here. Hang on. We got to look at this one. This little cat dude here. Now, their economy's in kind of shambles right now. This cat, shedder of power. When it loses a status effect, it puts drained on you. It has no attack. So this is an annoying unit. That it exists to be annoying because it can't attack you, it can just get near you and then make you weaker, which is not great. This. The reason I'm just sacrificing these guys here is to open the path. Shogun. Get in there. Get that revenge. Are we able to blast anybody yet? Yes, I am. I can do 9 damage to it. That's what we want to see. Can make a winged tea. Okay. Let's board. Enemies are distant, so let's make a guerrilla warrior. That in a bit. You in a bit. Scout goes in. Samurai go out. Excuse me. Let's see what we want to do. This Pipsqueak Scout. We can do some damage to this. Aha! This is what we're going to do. Scout go out. Go out. I can attack over the trees. You have only 3 HP. This is an awkward position I put myself in by blocking this brew outlet. HP. I do 2 from a distance. I have 3. Okay, yes. Guerrilla Warrior is the correct call here. It will win. Just has to hit it again. You did it. It's gone. The threat is over. Alright, let's look at this threat. See, if I hit this at a range, it's going to do the AoE damage. If I hit this at a range, it'll do AoE damage. Hit these at a range, it does AoE damage. A lot of AoE damage to be had. We do need to get that tile, though, so let's just commit to that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can reclaim that. Fine. Okay, just throw a Tea of War. This direction. This general direction. Or another. Just want to start putting damage on things. More damage we put on things, the better. Okay. Distraction scouts, go. Create a buffer. Ah, yes, the Fusilier must board. So now the tide has turned. The enemy economy is in shambles. We're getting, like, so many tea leaves a turn. They've used all their resources. They are not getting any more. We're getting a bunch of resources a turn. It's now just a matter of execution. There's that disengaging, weakening all the things near me. Oh no, my scout can't attack now. Whatever will I do? Great. You can do 4 damage to this Shedder of Power. And you should. Because then, kill it. Should get out of the way. Should go in. Should go in. And then die immediately. I'll put you at, what, 5 HP? I'll put you at good range for me to go in, get that kill. Scout, take that. Kunoichi, proceed. Thank you. Oh, you're not looking too great. You've seen better days there, Guerrilla Warrior. Get rid of that one. Okay. Let's deal with these cats. You can go over there. Deal with these big guys now. Oh my god, I have 8 attack. Did I get juiced? What juiced me? How did I get stacked? I am the chosen one. 6 will kill that. Not get a scout there in time unless Mint makes a magic happen. Nah, that's 8 tiles away. That won't happen. Wait a minute. No, it's there. It's blocking the path. I thought I was clever. That's okay. I can use you. And you need to make a winged tea, actually, with... Why not? Bring in the sacrifices. And now we just bring in the Tea of Wars. Genmaicha, let's have you make another Shogun. You could go up. Okay, now we need to look at our tiles. Let's flood the map. Wait a minute. Flood the map. And that's all we can do. But the enemy is slowly dying. And the fight, even though they cleared the breach, doing quite well for ourselves. It won't be long now. Those samurai are putting in good work. They take in damage and they get stronger. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Wow, the espresso. Relentless is going to be relentless. And unfortunately, the relentless one. Wow, you 8 damage on the espresso. That is overkill. Okay. Many things happened that turn. Many good things happened that turn. What? Okay. Time to get the Bumblebee in. So, still have Defiant. You have 18 HP. I'm going to start whittling this one down. And the enemy has run out of lemons. They made too many cats. This also uses lemon. So they can only make Doppio and Espresso now. Unless, you know, something terrible happens. Well, you're not strong. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mint needs to make ballet tea. This sacrificial tea just needs to get out of the way. This needs to kill that cat. Done. Let's continue our assault. Get out of here. We're at 5, which means we will definitely be able to hit you. 6. I could actually I should take the Dopier out now because that's 6. 1, 5, 6. And get out of here. I am going to decommission these to open the path. It's time for you to face my vengeance. 5 HP. I will win that encounter, but I don't want to waste my samurai on it. I'd rather my samurai be used here. Because I can make a nice little bumble tea here. Now I can... Can I really? My brain's working. Hang on. Okay. Kunoichi is the correct call because it has little HP. Goodbye. Next, samurai, go in, fight. Okay, next we need to claim that. Great. Now we need to throw... Cillier, where are you? So close. Distraction that you wish to see in the world. Bumblebee can hit that. Do I have a range? I can make that range stronger. Yes, I can. Go, Dragonwell! Okay. Nice. Up. There. You can move up if you like to. Ready to fight that. Nice. Bye. Make a worthy sacrifice, please. Yeah, okay. Bang. And then, of course, you want to throw your Tea of Wars at everybody. Oh, you can move. Well, that's interesting. You could there. You should stay on that tile. What resource tiles are close? Say this one. This one looks it's actually usable now. Start getting the damage there. Okay, that's it. Use all our resources. But we have all the tiles. Enemy cannot make more things right now unless they claim any stuff, and they did not. They did not claim anything. You have reactive still, you have defiant still, you have defiant, everybody has defiant. Go in and defy the odds. Samurai surround. How much HP do you have? 3. Well, a bomb would do it. Fortunately, you're useless now. Oh, you're weak. Need to commit to getting rid of this to open the path. The bomb would do it. I don't have enough. Unless... that for now. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. That's okay. We didn't need that Kunoichi anyway. Attack. Go forth. Make that ballet tea. Don't even need to do the math here. There's enough that I could just kill immediately. I do need to do the math for 6 here. Well, actually, if I do that, I don't need to. 1, 2. You have 4 HP? Goodbye. 1, 2, 5. You have how much HP? 4? Okay. So all that's left is this little one. How do we want to do this? How overkill should I be? I think exceptionally overkill. That's the level. Oh, wow. Something wrong. I didn't know how this moment would feel. We've done it. We have brought Yuenyeung back home. And she is crying and happy again. We are more than halfway through now. Let us take a look at the map update. So you could see Yuenyeung's homeland there, right here, has been recaptured. So now, basically, the Coffee Empire is what suffered losses now. The Tea Realms, as they were at the beginning, going all the way back, right, that was their border, going to the latest. They've actually now expanded because they took the entire Barista Canyon, everything belonging to Yuenyeung. They have taken some of the Expanse. Black Rose has taken some of this. Might be inaccurate to say this is the Tea Realms. That's more just like Black Rose. But let us have a lovely conversation between these two. Welcome back again, Matcha. Hug me. I owe you an apology for all the things I said to you. And she gets closer for the hug. They have made up, and that's what we want to see. And so that little saga has come to a conclusion. Baimuden, what are you doing in the garden? When I go to defining the data of where characters are, if like they don't have any dialogues, I kind of just put them off in the corner. I just forgot that Baimuden during this time is just smelling the roses instead of doing anything. Just way over here, not caring about anything. That's funny. Well, everybody, thank you so much for watching. We're going to call it for now. We will be back again next Thursday to continue playing Sovereignty. I hope you've been enjoying this. You can find this game on Steam if you wanted to try it yourself. You can join our Discord if you want to just talk to me. But yeah, I hope you had a great time, and I will see you next time. And before I forget, we need to raid somebody. So let's see who's streaming. Who will be raided today? It could be anybody. Who's streaming right now? Nobody I follow is streaming. Oh no. I take it back. There is no raid. We will just end the stream. Have a good one, everybody.